Hello everybody and welcome to this short video where I will go through the 2022 survey that we do for our Ultimate Tournament guides. This is something I've done every year since we started making guides. This is as it's very important for me and the team to listen to our followers, to hear what clubs they're playing with, what balls they can think about using, but most especially listen to the feedback, because most of the improvements we have done with our guides over the years comes from our users, because obviously we are making guides for our users, not just for myself what I think might be the best, because we want it to be the best for the general player. And this survey here really puts a point at certain things that I will touch base on in this video for the various divisions, and I will be going in a little bit more details about those stuff here in the end. Use the timestamps in the description down below if you do want to go directly to the division or just on the overall or the general points. And then you can listen to them there. If you're a new player or just a player that obviously don't have to be a new player in the game, but if you do want to use the best guides on the market for tournament play, you go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy and sign up to any of the 3 packages here on the screen: Ultimate Tournament Text Guide for Pro, or Expert, or Master. Obviously, if you play 2 divisions, you can bundle it together for a discounted price, and obviously if you play all of them, then you can get the 2. If you do want to take a tour play guide together with tournament play, we do have the diamond packages as well, so we do have everything for everyone. Scan the QR code as well. If you don't want to just log into it by typing it, you can scan the QR code on top of me here and go directly to our guides. Sign up and you get access immediately. So we're gonna start off with Pro is what we're going to do, and we're going to remove that one and add that one. So just to talk some general points when it comes to Pro. And with the answers in Pro, it clearly shows that we're picking the correct clubs, we're picking the correct balls in general. And the feedback that comes from Pro is that players do want to have more driver suggestions. Our main focus has been on extra mile level 6+ so far, but people have been expressing the will of maybe being able to use a lower level Thor's Hammer, a lower level Apocalypse, and we will start by adding more driver suggestions there. I mean, it is important for us to have one driver as the main focus because of the different accuracy and stuff like that. It's difficult to have 3 different driver types with 3 different levels of accuracy and several different levels. That's going to be difficult, but we're going to do our best to add a little bit more suggestions, and for those of you that do want to have some there. We do have more special ball suggestions. It actually was surprising to me that so many of our users would like or could see themselves using a special ball or 2 when they play the tournament. And we have found a way. I'm not going to go into that now, but we have found a way that we will be able to more or less suggest a special ball on every single hole, combined with keeping it free to play. And you will notice that when you're using our guides moving forward, that it's going to be much easier to understand when you can use a special ball and when it's just purely free to play. But I can promise you here now that we will have a way for you to play free to play, or just with a paid ball, or just bundle it together best you like, and still being able to play the same type of shot. And that maybe sounds impossible, but it's not. We are smart, or at least I feel that I'm smart because I came up with that. So it's going to be very interesting to look into that. Otherwise, when it comes to Pro, we have been growing nicely lately. We have really seen much more activity in the Telegram chats. We do have Telegram chats for Pro. We are updating for the win changes every single time in Pro. So even though it's, what is it now? Yeah, it's so many win changes in Pro, I can't even remember how many it is, and we are updating for all of it, and we're getting the guide out as soon as possible. But again, we're uploading in Telegram for those that do want to go early, and then we are updating for the win changes, and now keeping the guides as we're having now in the same way as is, but adding more driver suggestions and adding more special ball suggestions. That is feedback from our users, is going to make the Pro guide to stand out even more from the free and the paid guides that is out there on the market. So scan the QR code, get the guide for Pro, and we're gonna move over to Expert. So now we're gonna take a look at Expert, and before we go into the improvements that we will be doing in Expert, I wanna say that in Expert we are obviously updating for the wind changes. Absolutely, we do that every single time they are changing the wind. Our base in the guide is free to play, so you can play every single hole that we have in the guide and compete for gold and medals by just using free to play balls. That is very important for us, and that will always be our base when it comes to when we are creating the shots. We're also adding aggressive options such as, blast shots, aggressive rough bumps and stuff like that on par 3s if we deem it necessary to give us ourselves another edge when it comes to it. So when it comes to the feedback in Expert, if we start with the club selections, we are keeping our focus on Apocalypse level 4+. That was definitely a clear thing when it comes to the votes, when it comes to clubs. And when it comes to other clubs such as the Long Irons, the Grizzly will still be our main focus, but we will start add some suggestions for B52 as well if we deem that be a possibility to use the B52, because we do have some users that do want to use the B52 and we do want you to be able to do so. When it comes to short irons, we're keeping the Thorn. Unfortunately, we don't have enough users that are using the Falcon 7 or Falcon 8, which would be the substitute to Thorns. We're keeping the Thorn as a short iron. That will be that was very clear in that as well. So from the feedback section, we got a lot of good feedback for Expert 2, and first I'm gonna actually start at the bottom. New earlier deadlines. This is something that we announced already before the last tournament. The new earlier deadlines is now that we are going to release the qualifying round guide at 8 p.m. Central European time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday already. Same day. That's 2 hours earlier than we had the deadline before. When it comes to Thursday, the front 9 will be out the same time as on Monday with the qualifying round, so 2 hours earlier. But then we will also release the back 9 already 3 hours later on Thursday. So it will already be out at 11 p.m. Central European time, which is then 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Thursday. Because that has been a big thing for us and for our users, that we haven't really been as quick as we would like in Expert. But we have found a way with our people, moved around a little bit, and now we are able to be out much quicker. And I know there has been players that has left us due to the fact that we weren't quick enough, and I get that. I mean, before we released the back 9 early on Friday morning, and that's really not good enough. But now we're definitely good enough, and we're keeping the quality. That's definitely a big thing. Now go to the top. More wind angle tweaks. That was a suggestion we have gotten, and I totally agree with that. And we do agree with that fully in the team as well. And we need to step up there. So we are going to we are going to make sure that we have suggested wind angle tweaks on the par 3s, but also on the par 5s where we do have send it shots. That is so crucial nowadays, and we need to step up there and give those suggestions to you as users, so you can have a little bit better success, because that's what it's all about. If you do have a par 3 without wind angle tweaks, sure, some par 3s will give you a lot of drops still, but some of the par 3s are tough. Then we at least need to give you a suggestion. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but that is something that will be coming on our guides moving forward. More special ball suggestions. As I said already in Pro, for those of you that listen there, we have found a way now that we can actually suggest a special ball on every single hole in Expert, or I would say to 99% of all the holes that we will be playing with a free-to-play ball. It doesn't have to be an extra. It doesn't have to be an extra slide or extra guide for that. We have found a way for that. So for those of you that are interested to play with special balls, which I know was a big thing in the survey for our users, that they can think about using a special ball here and there, you will be able to see a much clearer description and display on how to use a special ball on our already existing slides, which can also be played with free to play. So now moving forward, you can play our guides in Expert more or less only with paid balls if you like, and you can also play with free-to-play balls only if you like, or you can bundle something together and still have the same success. And that, together with the wind angle tweaks to be added, that's something that will lift the expert guide to a complete new level. Tell me to play more expert. I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I have not been playing much expert lately, and that has been clear for everyone that has been following me on my channel. And what I've been focused on is obviously on master. I will still have my main focus on master, and I will still play enough accounts in master, so I'm not gonna spend less time on master, but I'm gonna give you a little info here. When it comes to master, I've been playing 4 accounts now lately, and a big reason for that is to try and see if I still have time to spend 4 accounts when it comes to opening round, mainly opening round. So when I've been playing 3 accounts, the guide is dialed in. I don't really add anything after that. It could be that it pops up a new shot or something like that, but the fine tuning and all the details in master are already done. So the 4th account that I'm playing that just purely for my own excitement, and you know, together with some buddies and stuff like that on Discord. But that account now, that round that I'm playing just for shits and giggles, that one is gonna now be an expert account that I'm gonna play. So I'm going to play qualifying round as normal for expert and add suggested tweaks and stuff like that and help the expert team with what they need. But that's going to be the same on opening round. I will be playing an opening round and I will truly go through every single hole and add tweaks and suggestions to the guide as well to strengthen the more finer details, which is very difficult to get to. But I have a lot of experience and I'm really good at what I'm doing. That doesn't say that the team is bad in anything. We have a world-class team, the best guys that we can have when it comes to creating expert content. But adding my eyes as well to it can only be better. When it comes to the weekend round as well, I usually play a round on Saturday for Master. Because it's just a fun thing to do. But I will start playing an expert frontline there instead and go through everything the same as I will do in the opening round. So we're adding then more tweaks, more... Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot of tweaks, because if the shots are just completely spot on, I mean, I'm not going to add anything towards that. But I'm really going to dig in and make sure to help out in a much better way than I've done before. So a lot of things when it comes to expert, but we've got a lot of good feedback, and we have been able to really squash many of the things that has been talked about in feedback. And I really want to go through that the same way I'm doing in Pro and in Master to give you all more information about what to come. And I hope you're excited about this, especially if you are an expert user, to really see us take the expert division guide to a new level, to make sure that we are in the lead and have the best possible guide out there and the earliest guide out there too. So in Master Division is our, what can I say, is the division has been growing the most for us over the last year and a half. We are now around 1,500 unique master player, counting with everyone that do have the clan package and that are using our master guide, which is a lot of players and a lot of accounts. And I'm truly proud of that. And Master is obviously in a division that is growing a lot and will continue to grow a lot as well. And we have found a way here in Master that I'm really proud of. First and foremost, we do have a very early release time. We are always updating for the wind changes, and we are always uploading in the Telegram chats as we do for Pro and for Expert as well. And it's always live commentary on the videos, it's always notes, so you can go early if you would like. And the same for the other divisions, we have people there to help out if you have any questions. Everything like that is still there. The biggest thing in Master was to ask about the clubs first and foremost. We can see that there are very few of our users that are using an Apocalypse level 5. So we will have a continued focus on Apocalypse level 6+. We will still have Apoc 5 suggestions, but we will use 7 bar or 6.9 bars of topspin as the base when it comes to creating our shots, but we will also have those big boy suggestions that we have had before when it's only a POC 7 and a POC 8 as an extra example for if we can push it a little bit harder to get ourselves to a little bit better position. We're gonna still to think about that obviously as well. When it comes to the short irons, which was, the long irons, it's definitely an advantage of B52. We're gonna continue with the B52, but add suggestions for Grizzly as we have been doing. But B52 will be our main long iron, and that was very obvious in the survey as well, that the B52 is the wanted long iron. When it comes to short iron, right? Short iron was actually an even split between Thorn and Falcon, and we will try, if we can, to suggest both of the short irons. However, though, sometimes the Thorn and the Falcon plays different due to its different accuracy, even if it has the same power, especially Thorn 9 than the Falcon 8. But we're gonna do our best to suggest both of them, the short iron clubs there, because I'm personally a player that I don't really mind which one to play with, and I know there are a lot of people thinking that, but I also know that some people can't use the Falcon because it only has in level 6, but they have the Thorn 9. And then we do have the Falcon level 7 or 8 users that really don't want to play with the Thorn because they feel confident with the Falcon. The thing to have said though is that everyone is having a Thorn because it's a rare club. So Thorn will always be suggested, just to have that said. It will always be suggested, but we will, when we can, add suggestions for Falcon as well, for those that do want to use that. When it comes to the specific feedback then, we didn't get much that people wanted to add to the guide, which I see as a good thing. Right, but the two things that did stand out is that players want us to have a continued focus on free to play, because playing Master is expensive, especially when wanting to do practice, and we will obviously continue with that. We have a dedicated free to play team that are just world class, like what they have done. Like, I know we promised 50% free to play shots, but they are basically being created 100% free to play shot on 18 holes, which is absolutely insane. We can't promise 100% of free-to-play shot, but we're gonna do our very best to be as close to that as possible. And we will try to take the suggestion as well for those that said that do want to see maybe a Kingmaker sometimes, because they might not have that many Kingslayers, or just playing with a Zerg sometimes because they don't have any Luminaries and stuff like that. We would try to take that into consideration, but in Master, as you can win Kingslayers and Luminaries, we are seeing them as free-to-play balls and will be using them mainly for that. Still use add and subtract advice for power 3s. This is something that was removed the last time because we were trying something different with the in-depth wind angle tweaks. And we are going to bring that back because I understand that especially phone users are having a trouble with the curl tweaks. So we will be bringing that back. We will also bring back the line that says turn your wind arrow to 12 or such like that, and we're gonna add that line as well. We're working on a little nice design there to add that into the guide. Obviously we do want to cater to as many as possible. We're also going to add a little line on our general advice page on how you should be looking at the curl tweaks if you are a phone user, because I've been doing some testing, and I think that I've come as close as that I think I can come in how many clicks is on a phone compared to an iPad and stuff like that. But more about that when it comes to the general advice page, which I will show in the end. But let's take a look at the general points here for all the guides. So this segment here, or this chapter here, I'm gonna go through some general points that came up in the feedback, or it didn't came up as a feedback, came up more as questions, right? So what I want to start with is when we're saying favor 1159 or 1201, what we mean there is that you should avoid the side we should not favor. Like, we should still pull straight, but let's say that I say favor 1159, then what we mean with that is to avoid 1201. So it's not really a pull angle, but it's more a way of us to describe to you to avoid a specific side. So like, because it could be that a 1201 could potentially be danger, or just could be potentially shit, or 1159, whatever. So when we say favor, it's all about trying to pull as straight as possible, but to avoid the side we are not favoring. I wanted to make that very clear. We also had people when it said, do you use the take shot button to judge the wind angles and stuff like that? No. And it frustrates me because that's just silly. In the end, I understand where the questions comes from, but I think it's unnecessary that we got there because that should never have been out there. But right, we always use the center line, so it's always the middle of the screen that we're using. So if you have a grid line, then the center line is obviously the center line. If you use the take shot button, then it's the middle of the take shot button, not the ball. The middle of the take shot button is where it should be looking from, because that's the center line, and that's the thing that we have always used, and we will continue to always use that. That's never going to change. Highlight if grades are danger. Do we do that or not? We do. And we obviously going to continue that. Every shot that we do, if it is a possibility for a danger with a great ball, we always test those shots out for a single grade. I know there are players that are questioning that before they are playing, and that gets them nervous and stuff. But I want to be very, very clear. If we are playing a rough bump or on a fairway where there could potentially be a risk of a grade being a danger, we're always testing for that. But that is single grades. If you hit a good ball or a double or triple grade, like really bad grade balls, I mean, then it is what it is. But we're always testing for single grades, and that's something you need to have in mind. If we then manage to see that a single grade left or a single grade right are danger, we are adding that and highlighting that in the guide. We have done that, not always, but for a long time, and I just wanted to be really clear with that, and that obviously goes for all the guides. So we do have a new general advice page that I will show you. It's not entirely done, but it will be done for the Easter tournament to come, and we have really been working through to really touch base on things that we continuously get questions for. And now the general advice page will be a way for you to really, you can find everything that will explain everything that we do have in the guide, and there will be videos and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna show you instead, because that's going to be much easier. So this is the new general advice page, and we are, what can I say, we are having two pages now, because obviously there has come a lot of new things in the guides, a lot of things that could be hard to understand, but now we do have a new one, and I'm very pleased with this one. The reason this is marked red is because I'm currently making this video. That's why we're having that one red. It will be gray once it gets released. It's still the same type of concept. You can click the Telegram and you can click into Google Drive to get to the videos, and you see Telegram. You can join the Telegram chats. You can see now, for those of you that had checked the latest general advice, but you can see that we have the curl pictures down there on the first page, or the only page we have. We changed that now. We have a box for Telegram that explains everything in Telegram with the video, so you can also see and you know, I'm sharing my tips and tricks on how to use Telegram and stuff like that, and how to join the chats. We do have the pull angle box. You can see here we have added a line called favor. It's just to explain that too. We have small and we have big. Risk versus reward, and then we do have the info boxes that we're adding into the guide, same as before. And then some, you know, yeah, basically we're using these type of things when we're writing the guide to, then you can see also what they mean. But the biggest thing here now is that we have added a new one, which is a ball curl and wind angle. It's an advice page here. There we touch base on that ball size, that not every ball has the same size. You can see a ball comes in all shapes and sizes. The majority of the balls in the game are the same size, but some are small and others are big. How these balls appear when using the same amount of curl can therefore vary. Curl picks below are with a kingmaker, a normal sized ball. Right? Then we do have ball and club swap, where we go through the importance in not swapping to a topspin or a backspin boost ball if we already have backspin on, or we already have a topspin on. This has been acknowledged from Playdemic as a bug in the game, so this will eventually go away, right? But we wanted to add that into the guide to touch base about that one when it comes to yeah, again, when it comes to ball and club swap, which is very common to do in all our guides. Advanced wind angles, and this is something that mainly are for master for now, but we are then using two types of different, one new type of table, and also when it comes to a new type of box, if we do not have room with the VPR table. But it's explaining the wind angle tweaks, and also gives you an idea. And also for those of you, it doesn't have to be a master player to study that, and just to try to get a grasp on how that works. And then we do have the curl picture at the bottom as well. So much better laid out, and you can see all the videos here on the front page. We have guide overview that will explain every detail in the guide and how we are thinking and stuff like that. We have time management. How could you manage to get the time to work for you without being super stressed? Second shot reference checks, such as pinch checks, landing position checks, rough checks, everything. Clicks of spin, clicks of curl, and then we have clicks of overpower and underpower for that matter. And then we do have wind angles that I'm talking through as well, and then ball and club swap, and then we also have a video to Endbringer School. So, a lot of things in the new general advice page, and I hope you will enjoy this, and I hope this will help you, especially those of you that are maybe new to our guides and stuff like that, can have a much better, or like a shorter starting point before understanding many of the things in the guide. Because, again, if you're understanding more, then you will also have good success. And we take a lot of pride of that we're adding more content, more data than anyone else. And everyone that has used other guide creators know that. So that's a no-brainer. So we are obviously very pleased with the way that we have it here. So what we want to say once in the end, make sure to go to the Ultimate Tournament Guides on patreon.com/golfclashom and get one of the packages. Try the guides out, get yourself a help to improve your game in a massive way. Again, you can bundle it together with tournament guides, tour guides, whatever. We have package in all sizes, and also if you're interested in, clan to invest, we do have a clan deluxe package as well. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video, and please never hesitate to come to us if you do have any more feedback and suggestion when it comes to using our guides. Much love to you all, and good luck in your Golf Clash game.